You want to grind all of this up. So I put the peppercorns, about 1½ tablespoons. You want a teaspoon of the dried oregano, tablespoons of the capers. If you have these in salt, you want to rinse them off well to get rid of the excess salt. Goes in. Here's my salt. And I'm going to just cut that garlic clove in half before I put it in, or maybe in quarters because that's a big one. Stick that in. And then I'm just going to give this a twirl and grind it up until it becomes really just a homogenized mixture here. And then I'm going to add some olive oil. We're going to transfer that to a bowl, just a tiny bowl. See how that looks like sand almost. All right, that's all of it. Now what we're going to do is add some olive oil to make this pasty. So about, I would say, 4 tablespoons of a good extra virgin olive oil. Okay, 4 tablespoons. Put that aside, and now we mix this around. Okay? So that loosens it up some. Also gives it flavor, of course. And it's going to help keep that roast moist. For the vegetables that are going to roast with the pork, we have potatoes, just cut in wedges. We have some onion, and we're going to add some fennel. And really, I just love this stuff, but if you don't like fennel, you can just leave it out. So we're just going to cut it up into slices like that. This is going to go with our potatoes. The fennel to the potatoes and the onions all together. That was 1 large onion. We're going to give this some olive oil, a couple tablespoons or so. There's salt, there's pepper. Here's a little salt. It's all going to roast nicely with the roast. So you just want to mix it up a little bit. This is going to go in the base of the pan. All right, that's looking good. I'm going to set that aside now, and we're going to work with the meat. So you dry the meat off really well. Rub it all over this roast. You know, just pat it on. The top, the sides. Really, a roast like this, you only want to cook to about 145 degrees internal temperature. You don't want to overcook it because then it would be really dry, because as I said, this is a boneless pork loin, so it's rather lean. And so if we overcooked it, it would be very, very dry, wouldn't taste very good. And oh, by the way, you can push some of this rub down into the roast. Make a few slits, you know, deep slits in the top, maybe 5 or 6, and then just shove that rub right in there. Okay, so there it is. So now you want to put it in a roasting pan. Make sure you're using a roasting pan. And I have a rack, see a meat rack there, to sit the roast on so that the heat will go everywhere around it. So there it is. I'm going to shove the rest of that into those holes because that's all good stuff. You want your oven up to temp, 425 to begin. So we're ready. When you take that hefty pan and you put it in the oven, close the door, put your timer on for 25 minutes. 25 minutes later, we're going to add the potato mixture, and we're going to add a cup of wine and let her go.